is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on The Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Oh, happy Wednesday. No, it's not. It's Tuesday. It is the Jason Walker Show here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, trying to track down our first guest. This is why I need a producer on the show, right? This is somebody that can do this for me while I get ready to do the show. We got a big show coming up today here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We're going to talk some more cancellations. Told you yesterday there was going to be some big ones. And we'll get right to our first guest here in just a second on the Jason Walker Show as we throw him right into the fire. But also we'll talk to Sean Mergel from East Helena coming up, the activities director. But we told you yesterday there's going to be some big cancellations today. One of them came out this morning. And joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline to chat about it is the general manager of the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds, Kevin Tenney. How are you, my friend?
Well, I've had better days.
Yeah, you and I talked yesterday. This was a foregone conclusion, and unfortunately, the news came out today. The Stampede, the fair, the concert, it's all canceled for now and for 2020, and it's a bummer deal. This was a tough decision. Take me through it.
Well, I mean, we can start back when this all started flaring up around our country. I had every intentions of moving forward, and through March, April, May, we were gunning forward to make this happen. I didn't think it would affect us. But then as May started winding through, we started looking at the financial aspect. This place is run by taxpayer dollars, and if we're to the point where we can only sell every third seat, if we have to social distance, there's a chance of losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, not only for the concert but for the rodeo. I mean, it was mainly a financial decision. This is the last thing I wanted to do, that we as staff wanted to do. It's our favorite time of the year. Mm-hmm. However, I think it'd be fiscally irresponsible to put this on when there is no guarantee that Montana will be open where we can sell all the seats. I thought it would have been a great timing. I thought the end of July, I figured, well, things are going to open up and people are going to want to come. But the more I'm hearing, the less likely that I think is the chance of that is happening goes down dramatically.
Kevin Tenney, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show. We're in phase 2, but that's not any guarantee that we're going to be in phase 3 by the end of July when the Stampede was supposed to happen. And even then, there's social distancing policies that are going to take place. I don't want to ask the specific financial details, but ballpark, what are we losing here in Helena?
For the fairgrounds itself, we're probably looking at roughly $700,000 to $750,000 in revenue just for the fair. Our revenues have already seen a loss of about $180,000 since March when we had to close down and couldn't do events. And then who knows where we're going to be in August? And there's a tentative concert scheduled in August. That hasn't been released yet because that's obviously it depends on how things are, but
Sure.
it could broach $1 million. I mean, it's been, and I'm not whining about it. There's other people out there that are struggling way worse than we are. So
Sure, no doubt about that. But it's not just the fairgrounds that, when you talk about the financials, but the city of Helena and the outlying areas, because people come to town, hotels are rented, and this is a big week that the city of Helena, the county of Lewis and Clark, looks forward to each and every year, and now we don't have that. As you move forward, I know that you're trying to book Cole Swindell, the concert act, for next year, but there's no guarantee of that. But how can people figure out if they want to refund? Take me through all that detail.
Well, right now we're giving everyone the opportunity to get refunds or hold on to their tickets for next year in case we are able to book in Cole Swindell again. I think the chances are pretty high that his date's open, obviously, because they're not taking any bookings. So they do have us penciled in. However, if a big tour comes up that he gets invited to, so they're not committing right now, but more than likely we'll get them. However, we have had quite a few refunds, so we might, instead of just saying call, we might end up just refunding everybody regardless, because we're getting a lot of calls. So we've waited longer than most fairgrounds because my intention was going forward. It's what we had to do, and it's left a hole in our stomachs down here, and nobody's happy about it, and I don't expect anyone should be happy about it because it is our biggest event in Helena, where 50,000 people come through those gates, and like you're saying, the economic impact affects the hotels and the restaurants and what shopping we do have in Helena, but I mean it affects everybody.
Sure.
And it was the hardest decision I ever had to make since working here.
It's nuts. Kevin Tenney, our guest here, Jason Walker Show from the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds, the general manager. You and I were chatting. You said in your press release there's still a chance that North Star Carnival could still happen this summer. That would be somewhat of a boon because at least we'd have something to do. What's the logistics behind that?
Yeah, no, I think that is very likely we'll be able to put that on. They have a plan that we'll submit to the health department. I mean, if it opens up to stage 3 by then, I mean, then they'll be golden. Then we don't have to worry about anything of that. Well, they'll still take some precautions, but even if we're in stage 2, they do have a plan that they're going to submit, and I think it's pretty good chance that it will happen if people are smart and put a lot of thought into their events. We've had a couple other events that have got approved to be held down here in stage 2. So if there's precautions there, I think there's a pretty high chance we can get that done. One
thing that the fairgrounds has been able to do, and excuse me, and it's been a great success the first 2 weeks, is bring in drive-in movie theaters, which you have a kid's side and a more family-friendly side, but a kid's movie and then a family movie. And I think it's been a great success. We went the first weekend and loved it, and hopefully we're going to be back soon. But that has been very successful, at least in our eyes and the community's eyes. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm very happy with it. We had a couple kinks we had to work out after the first week, but it has been successful. They're selling out. The first 2 weeks sold out right away. We still have tickets for both shows available for tomorrow night. But so many people were trying to get in. I think a lot of people gave up. So we'll put out a little note that there are some still available out there, and we'll continue doing it every week until, I guess, the novelty of it wears off and it's not financially successful for us.
Sure.
We are going to move it to Fridays starting next week. So that'll open it up to some people who haven't been able to go because they don't want to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah. We'll keep going as long as there's still a demand for it, for sure.
I think it's been great. Like I said, the movies this week, what is it? Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then the Lego movie?
The Lego Movie, correct.
I have not seen the Lego Movie. Which one are you going to watch?
I'll be watching both of them as I go back and forth, making sure everything's going good.
What would you prefer to just sit and watch, though?
I would prefer to watch Indiana Jones because I've never seen the first one.
You haven't? Where have you been? You're not that busy.
I just watched the second one. I just watched the second one last weekend with my wife for the first time. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so
it's weird. 2
is my favorite. 3's pretty good. No, 3 might be my favorite because of Sean Connery. 4's okay. 1's probably my least favorite of all of them. But yeah, I won't say that out loud because people are going to go watch it tomorrow night.
Right, exactly. It's the best one. The one
it is the best one. It is. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hey, have fun following the kid around baseball this summer. It sucks that we won't see each other at the rodeos and the Stampede and the fair and everything this summer, but we'll catch you around. I think you're doing a great job down there, and we're bummed just like you are, and we wish you the best and appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thanks, Jason.
That is Kevin Tenney, the general manager of the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds, joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And the Fairgrounds losing a big one today with the losing the Stampede and the fair and announcing it. And Red Lodge also canceling today, the home of Champions Rodeo, for the first time in 90-some years. It's just nuts. And, you know, I just feel for everybody involved. And it's not just the competitors. It's not just, you know, the fairgrounds. It's the communities. It's everybody behind the scenes that puts together these fantastic summer events during the PRCA rodeo season. Northern Rodeo Association plans on going ahead for most of it. I hope that happens. We'll keep you updated on that. But with Red Lodge, so let's think about this. In the last couple of weeks, we've lost Belt, Augusta, Red Lodge, Livingston, Drummond, Helena now, Lewistown, Great Falls, I think Missoula, Bozeman. Billings is still planning for August. Not sure if that's going to happen. It sucks. And there's, nothing we can do about it except get our voices heard and as best we can. And hopefully you are. Write to your, like Wade Sankey said yesterday, write to your local government. Tell them how bummed you are and upset you are. And let's get some change in going here. And I know there's different things and more important things in the world to worry about, but that's one of the big ones, is all of this needs to be changed as well. Because we gotta have our lives back. We have to. So appreciate Kevin Tenney joining us. I know it's tough, not a great, easy decision to make, but very tough one. All right, take a break. When we return, we're going to check in with East Helena Vigilante Vice President and Activities Director, Sean Mergel. He will join us coming up on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Also, don't forget, you need to do this. Go out to Green Meadow. I just dropped my pen again. Go out to Green Meadow Country Club. Get signed up. Tell them you heard it, Jason Walker Show. And whether it's an individual, you can become family members. The pool. We told you yesterday about Wednesday. The wife and I golfed 9 after I had already golfed 18, including 9 in league. And then my 2 daughters, the 22-year-old and the 2-year-old, went to the pool and hung out. And while the wife and I golfed 9 holes. I mean, it was fantastic. You get great service, especially in the club shop. Chad and Ryan, unbelievable in the golf. You talk about pros, they are. Chad and Ryan will take care of you in that pro shop. And we haven't even got to the food and beverage side of it yet, which is fantastic too. Get out there, Green Meadow Country Club, become a member, and we'll see you on the course. All right, come right back with Sean Mergel from East Helena. Hi, that is next. This is the Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Happy Tuesday. The Jason Walker Show back in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Took last week off, had a great time. Just hanging out, relaxing, getting the brain kind of recharged. And then I come back to more cancellations and all that. And if you missed it, Kevin Tenney from Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds just joined us a few moments ago to talk about the cancellation of the Last Chance Stampede Fair and Rodeo this summer, but you can always listen on JasonWalkerShow.com to any of our previous shows and the such, and that will include our next guest. Don't forget, On This Day in History's coming up. We also have the walk-off and much more, but let's talk about some positivity now. And it's normally don't talk about JV schools and JV sports, but this is close to home. I mean, I think I'm closer to East Helena and the new high school than I am to Helena High. And joining us now is Vice Principal and Activities Director Sean Mergel on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's great to have you. How many Mergels are there?
I couldn't tell you. Quite a few.
Too many?
Never enough.
I like that. So East Helena it's moving, and you've been out there a couple of years with all this planning. Has it gone as smooth as you'd hoped?
I think it's gone really well. It's been in the making for 10 plus years, so it's been a well thought out process.
And obviously, been going well. The hiring of coaches is complete, or do you still have anybody left?
We are all full with our coaches for this upcoming season, so that's a plus right there.
How awesome was it last year to finally get a little bit open? I know the high school wasn't open yet, but to get things going, and especially on the athletic side of things.
Oh, it was huge. I think it really brought a real sense of community pride with the turnout that we had for all of our sports and activities. The first home game, we had probably close to 300 people watching, and the crowds were great. Our volleyball crowds were always great. Our basketball, all of our sports were really fun to watch, and there's some good competition going.
And you got some, because it's a JV schedule for 2 years, but you were able to, was it the individuals sports were able to send some to state, and you got to do that. Am I right?
Right.
Wrestling?
Wrestling, we had two boys qualify for the cross country state, and then 5 swimmers for swimming state, and with the 1 wrestler.
That's
so
awesome.
It was really awesome.
As a vice principal and as an AD, knowing that these individuals in their first year of Class A competition made it to state, what's that mean to you?
It just shows that we have kids coming out and they're competing very well for us, and they work hard.
East Helena Vice Principal and Activities Director Sean Mergel, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right, so over the summer, or I guess this spring, we're not even at summer yet. Schools were shut down. There were no sports, but work didn't stop at East Helena. And got a couple of pictures off your Twitter page because you've got some scoreboards going up. You've got field turf going in. Everything's starting to look like an activity and athletic department out there.
It really is coming along nicely. The COVID didn't slow down our progress. The turf fields are both going to be done by the end of this week, so we'll be able to have our softball field is all turf as well as the football and soccer field, so it's going to look pretty sharp.
So we're going to have a Class A school that has better facilities than the AA neighbors.
Our facilities are going to be pretty nice here in East Helena, yes.
They are. You have a video board for football. How cool is that?
We have video board for football and basketball both.
Oh, really?
And volleyball, whatever. We have them in the gym and outside on our football field.
Wow. That is fantastic. East Helena Vice Principal and Activities Director Sean Mergel joining us here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. All right, so it's still a JV schedule, but you and I were talking, you're going to petition to hopefully have some sports maybe play in divisionals this year.
Yeah, visiting with the MHSA, we can have our volleyball team petition to go play in the volleyball divisional tournament, and then our boys and girls basketball play in the divisional tournament as well. So we're excited about that.
That would, not much would be expected from the Vigilantes this year, but what would that do for the confidence of the next year when you do go full varsity?
I think what it does for our programs is, ability to get those pre-jitters out of the way because they've been there and done that, and our kids will understand what it's like to go to divisionals and compete in the divisional tournaments and things like that.
I think that's great, and I hope MHSA approves it. East Helena Vice Principal, Activities Director Sean Mergel joining us, Jason Walker Show. All right, so what still has to be done athletics-wise, activities-wise, here in the next year?
I think the biggest thing for us is the weight room, and for our activities for our kids to be able to get bigger, faster, and stronger to, start competing, because we're still freshmen and sophomores this year. So going into the following year when we have junior class and we're going to be varsity and everything, we have that extra year of growth and experience.
That would be huge for sure. This is going to be a tough question. Are schools going to be open this fall?
Well, so far looks good. We're planning for it. Yeah, it might look a little different than what we're used to with we might have, with the social distancing and such like that, but we're planning on it. I mean, I know we're excited to meet. We have an AD's meeting coming up here in a couple of weeks where we're going to sit down and visit about all that stuff. And so it looks good so far.
The Class A has been restructured over the years so many times. I think, are you in the same division as Lockwood? Is that right?
We are. We're in the Eastern A.
The Eastern A, and you're in southwestern Montana.
Yeah.
Looks
like geography speaking. We do a little bit of travel.
A little bit. Now, I know it's not as big of a deal in high school as it is in college when it comes to travel. It is, but there's different forms of help. But you are going to have to travel a little bit. You prepared the teams and the coaches for this?
We did quite a bit of traveling last year with all of them. So I mean, they're getting used to it. You know, our kids are doing a lot of activities, so they're not just doing one, but multiple at a time. So they're getting a lot of practice at traveling.
Do you have one of the nice buses though?
We have a nice travel bus, and actually we have another one that we should be here tomorrow. So we're gonna have 2 travel buses.
Oh, that is
for the next
fantastic.
coming season.
So they don't have the cold, broken down old school buses that back in the day that we were all used to, right?
That's right. We're gonna be we travel a lot, so we figure we better give them a nice bus to travel on.
Sean Mergel, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. I've got to ask this because Stevensville, Class A, has a really, well, I won't say really nice traveling bus, but it's a nice traveling bus compared to the school buses. Anything is nicer. A lot of these Class A, B, and even C schools have really nice travel buses. Why don't the double A's?
I don't know anything. I couldn't answer about the double A's. I just know that I think we have a lot more travel than they do overall, maybe.
Sure, okay. Makes sense. Especially just in the, from A to C, especially football, there's a ton of travel. All right, so you're putting together schedules, you're looking ahead to the future. What do you love the most about your job?
The fact that I was able to come back to East Helena and, do something that not very many people get to do, to establish a whole program with this great group of people that I work with every day.
And was this the one job you wanted?
It's the one job I thought I'd never see happen.
That's a great answer because not many people thought about it. All right, so I live just above Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I'm in Helena town proper, city limits. But we vote in both Helena and East Helena school districts. So my daughter is 2. Start the recruiting pitch right now.
Well, part of that is zoned for the East Helena School District up there.
Yes, it is.
So, I think people just have to come check out our facility, see what we have here, the education we have here, and see what's best for them.
It's a pretty good answer. I like that. It's a pretty good start to a recruiting pitch because, like I said, you've got 3 years to sell me on East Helena. And I mean, it's a long time before she gets up to you, but there's a lot going on in East Helena, and it's for the better. And you drive around all the new schools. It's just it's beautifying itself with all of this new activity going on out there.
I think that the education we offer is one of the best around. I know I'm kind of biased on that, but I got the same education when I was growing up here in East Helena. And I think that it's very similar to what it was when I was here. You get good teachers and good people to work with every day.
Well, and one of the best guys to ever come out of East Helena was Mike Van Diest. So it says a lot.
He's one of the East Helena greats. That's true.
That is true. When you look at East Helena greats, Sean, there's a ton.
There is.
I mean, you can name off and just a laundry list of great names. Who's your favorite? As you were growing up, who was your favorite East Helena stud?
I would never pick one because I know them all.
Yeah, but they're not listening.
They will be. They'll hear about it. But there's, East Helena's got a lot of good tradition.
Sure.
We have Brian Swain, who I've known my whole life. Bill Dolan. I mean, there's just a slew of great people that came through here. They've done a lot of good things.
Wasn't Mike Kramer East Helena guy?
Cliff Heisel.
Heisel?
Guy.
Yep.
Yeah. There's just been you've seen a lot of great things happen out of people that came from East Helena.
Including the Mergels.
There's a few. I'm probably the least talented, but that's okay.
All right, so are you a Steelers fan too?
I am.
Oh.
My whole life.
Why?
Because that's the area I grew up in.
Well,
either the Cowboys or the Steelers.
And I'm a Cowboys fan, so.
There you go.
Hey, I've got an autographed Gil Brandt Hall of Fame card I can send you, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's worth a little bit of money. Like $2 or something, I think he said, but
It's tough economic times. We'll take it.
just don't sell it. All right, so as we look ahead, are you guys able to start opening up? Because I know some schools across the state are opening up the weight rooms and the practice facilities this month. Is East Helena one of those too?
We're looking at it. We're putting in all our safety protocols and sanitizing stations, so we're going to be ready to go. I know our coaches are excited to get into the gyms. So hopefully next week or the following week, we'll start with that stuff.
You mentioned earlier, Sean, the turf for softball and football. We know how great it is for football. What's that going to do for the softball program? Because we know what softball in the spring in Montana can be like.
You don't have to worry about a muddy field, that's for sure. I was actually looking at the U of M website the other day, checking it out, and they really touted the benefits of having an all-turf field. You don't have to. The weather's not as much of a factor. The rain, because it'll drain off.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, look at all the years that you've seen the state football tournaments rained out. Hopefully, you could get some of those in if you have more turf fields. Because I think it's us and Lockwood are the only 2 high schools in the state that are going to have an all-turf field.
Wow.
So, just the weather isn't quite as big of a factor.
Sean Mergel, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right. What have you been doing during the last 2.5 months? Like what movies have you watched? What's our go-to in the Mergel household?
I wish I had time to be home and watch movies.
You're too busy building fields.
I've been at work every day. I've been getting our schedules going for all of next year. We've been helping get our kids the remote learning they need to be successful. So, we've just been charging to get stuff done and make sure our kids have what they need to be successful.
Well, this is interesting to me, Sean, too, because as East Helena Vice Principal and Activities Director, Sean Mergel, joining us here, with that remote learning, you guys, as the freshman class, were already, basically remote learning anyway because there wasn't the high school finished. So you're already adjusting, and then this happens in March, so then everybody has to adjust. Was it easier for the freshmen a little bit, maybe?
Nah, because it was just such a totally different environment to go from being in a classroom. And I think that's what we've learned through this is kids really like being in class.
Mm.
And it was good for like the first week or so. Then it gets old fast. And, they really like the social interaction with the teachers and with their fellow students. So I think that's one of the biggest things we've learned is that they really do enjoy coming here.
Which is kind of a surprise, because you always hear kids like, especially March, April, May, be like, oh man, I'm just tired of school. I don't want to go to school. Not looking forward to it. We've all heard the excuses, and then all of a sudden you don't have that. You miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
it's
is
huge,
good.
I think. Yeah, no, it was. I hope we don't have to ever experience it again.
Well,
yeah, it was a good learning experience.
I hope so too. First football game is when?
Our first home game, I believe, is September 8th.
Okay. And
our first home volleyball game will be September 4th.
Okay.
In the new facilities.
That's just awesome. The Vigilantes. That's just a great name too.
Well, I'm kind of partial to it myself.
I love the mascot. I'm not a big Class A fan, but man, you're going to be. I'm an East Helena guy all the way. I've got to get some East Helena stuff hung up here in the man cave. That's what I need is some Vigilante gear.
You sure do.
I'll have to come over and get some.
And I did want to put a plug in. We're very thankful for Stockman Bank and the donation they made for our scoreboard.
Yes.
They look really nice in there.
They absolutely do. And like I said, I stole them off your Twitter page, so there's my courtesy. But yeah, when you look at the scoreboards, they are definitely nice. And I love, seriously, that logo looks sharp on the football schedule or on the football scoreboard. And then the volleyball or softball one, a little far away, but it looks pretty good too. So you guys have done well, and I'm looking forward to cheering for the Vigilantes in the upcoming season.
Well, we look forward to having you cheer us on.
Well, I appreciate the time, Sean. We'll check in. I'm going to get a hold of your coaches as well, and we'll become vigilante here on the Jason Walker Show.
Awesome. Look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great day.
That is Sean Mergel joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, and the Vigilantes getting ready to go. And like I said, I've never been a Class A guy. I mean, the Double A is cool. I graduated at Double A school at Bozeman. I've covered a lot of Double A sports over the years. Working in Bozeman, Great Falls, Helena. Even when I was in Colorado, I covered 4 and 5A, which are the highest levels up there or down there in Colorado. But man, I got to tell you, and I'm a fan of the B's and the C's, especially. But Class A right now with the Vigilantes, I'm sold. I'm a vigilante from here on out, and I can't wait to chat with some of the coaches, some of these student athletes, and going to have a lot of fun over there in East Helena. And yes, one more year of JV sports, but it's so cool that they'll be able to go to divisionals and get that experience, because that next year when they go full varsity, it's not gonna be as big of an eye opener. And I think that Lockwood and East Helena, it's almost like College of Idaho. They had 0 year, where they had everybody on campus. They were able to practice. They were able to just be and grow together before they started playing. In that first year in the Frontier, they went 4 and 6. And then 5 years later, they go 10 and 0 and win the league. Or 6 years later. And that's kind of the same thing with Helena or East Helena and Lockwood, is you're getting that experience as 2 years of JV schedule, where you get the travel, you get used to that, you get used to the competition, you know what it's going to be like. So when you go varsity, it's not scary. It's not going to be an eye opener. It still will for freshmen. There's no question about that. But I think it's super cool for Lockwood and East Helena, and man, I'm rooting for East Helena now. I'm a vigilante from here on out. All right, we're going to come back. When we do, we're going to just chat some more. This last segment brought to you by our friends at Rucker's Furniture. You can make the quality choice for your home at 1010 Dearborn in Helena. Told you this yesterday. Over the last week, the wife decided, hey, I want a new kitchen table. And she literally went to one store, and one store only, and that's Rucker's Furniture. Family owned in Helena for years. It's a great family. And she knew what she wanted. She went in, they took care of her, and she got a great table. They swapped. She didn't want 6 chairs, so they swapped out 4 chairs and a bench. So we get 4 chairs and a bench. And the table, awesome. And it's one of those cool deals where, everybody wants to expand their table and have leaves or whatever. And now you don't have the leaf that comes out. And you don't risk pinching and stuff because the leaf is built in. And you just it's really cool. It just pops out of the middle. I don't know. It's technology that I don't understand. But it's really cool. You can go down to Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. Get one of your own or something else. They have great furniture too. And that is where you make the quality choice for your home. Rucker's Furniture in Helena. Coming right back, Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Dinner's Done Right is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia and a variety of fantastic chicken cuisines and more. And if that's not enough, Dinner's Done Right's Grab and Go Soup, Salad, and Nacho Bar is back as well, with one exception. The delightful staff now will make it for you. And don't forget deliveries to Bozeman and Great Falls on select days. Stop in at 1212 Cedar Street in Helena or visit dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Dinner's done right. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Helps if you turn the microphone on. Final segment on a Tuesday here, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Jason Walker Show. Rolling on. Got some great guests lined up for the rest of the week. And you're going to want to tune in. By the way, you can always watch live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, thanks to Periscope. Also, listen live. Network One Sports, Podbean, TreasureStateRadio.com, and then, of course, JasonWalkerShow.com for anything you may have missed. If you want to go back and re-listen to anything like Kevin Tenney from today, the general manager of the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds, who joined us at the top of the show to talk about the cancellation of this year's Last Chance Stampede and fair. So no rodeo, no concert. Now I'm not bummed about the concert. I could not care less about Cole Swindell, so doesn't bug me. But I know a lot of you care. A lot of you had tickets. You can go to the website for more details. But the rodeo, the fair, the carnival, the stand, here's, we've talked about this before. The 4-H'ers. What happens to those kids that has spent the last year preparing for the end of July to sell their cow, to sell their hog, to sell their whatever, bunnies, chicken? I mean, we have it all. And what happens to, where does that money now come from for those kids? So that's one thing to think about. And, yeah, we talk about the competitors and just missing rodeo and how much fun it would be to watch that, but it's, there's so many others behind the scenes that you don't think about. So, but maybe we get to carnival, and that sounds like that's a possibility and maybe a potential for sure. So that would be super awesome. Red Lodge canceled today as well, the Home of Champions Rodeo for the first time in over 90 years. Just like Livingston a couple of weeks ago. Livingston Roundup, first time in 96 years. Cheyenne, Frontier Days, first time in 124 years. Calgary Stampede, first time in forever. All these cancellations. Now, I'm not sure if this was a dig. Big Fork Summer Rodeo says that they're going July 4th through the 6th this year. Go to bigforkrodeo.com. They tweeted a couple of hours ago, quote, this is Facebook, Facebook, quote, those that are making decisions to cancel everything due to fear really need to stop and think outside the box. Let's not be sheep, but ones that open the gates for others to follow. Be the ones that preserve our heritage, enhance the quality of life, and show the patriotism this country was founded on. Fear cannot lock us down any longer. Those that are worried or at risk, please stay home. But as for the rest of us, let rodeo live, end quote. That's from Big Fork Summer Rodeo Facebook post. I tend to agree. And maybe the Big Fork local community is going to have a great rodeo, and hopefully they do. But the decisions don't come down that easily to just the fairgrounds, such as Lewis and Clark County, or the Home of Champions Rodeo in Red Lodge, or the Great Falls Big Sky Pro Rodeo Roundup at the Montana State Fair. Decisions aren't just coming down to something simple like that. Okay? It's not some one person going, you know what? Screw it. We're not having rodeo or fairs or stampedes or anything, or roundups, anything this year. It's not. And I tend to agree with Big Fork. Yes, we need to live on. But I don't know if calling out other rodeos is the right call there, Big Fork. So work together. Northern Rodeo Association is happening. The NRA is going to rodeo, which is great, at least as of now. And I hope they continue. For the sake of, everybody. I'm going down June 13th to Photo American Legion Rodeo canceled. And it's just, there's so many. There's so many. But let's hope that there's good things coming and better things on the horizon when it comes to the rodeo world. Because we get to play baseball. So why can't we have rodeos? And again, I'm very happy that the Legion teams are playing. And we're going to have Coach John Burnett on probably this week from Helena. But here's why can't we rodeo then? And I'm happy for the kids. I truly am. Honest to goodness. Very happy the kids get to play baseball. But at the end of the day, they're 16 to 17, 18-year-old kids. That's not their livelihood. They're not getting paid to play baseball. There's a lot of people in rodeo that this is their livelihood. This is the only way they make money all year round. So let's put, this isn't apples to apples here, comparisons. Speaking of baseball, so the Major Leaguers Player Union said that they'll play a 114-game schedule, have playoffs in October, and go from there and take a prorated salary cut for 114 games instead of 162. The owners came back and said, how about a 50-game schedule? I don't think we're going to have Major League Baseball this year, folks. Which means no minor league baseball, which is for sure. If there's no Major League Baseball this year, there is no chance in hell the Pioneer League's ever coming back. It's amazing to think back now, last year. I mean, Pioneer League's supposed to start this month, like 2 weeks from now. It's not going to happen, folks. Paddleheads, change your logo, change your name for nothing. Made the owners some new money before they don't have a team. Losing baseball in Billings, losing baseball in Great Falls is terrible. Of those three, though, Missoula, Great Falls, and Billings, losing Billings hurts the worst. That has been one of the best baseball cities in America for decades. The old Cobb Field, which we got to play on as Legion kids, was awesome. And then they redid it. Dealer Park is nice. It's beautiful. I mean, Cobb Field, the old Cobb Field, was in National Geographic magazine. It's one of the top minor league ballparks all over the country back in the early 90s, mid 90s. But if there's no Major League Baseball this year, there's not going to be a Pioneer League. There is no chance to work it out to where the Pioneer League gets saved at all. Because even if they're talking that even if the majors do come back, 50 games, 114, 82, whatever it is, there's still not going to be a minor league baseball season. So think about last September or last August when you left Ogren Park at Allegiance Field or whatever it's called, Missoula, Billings, Great Falls, when you left those baseball stadiums after the final home games, that was it. It's not going to be Pioneer League Baseball anymore. And I hate to say that. I hate to break it to you. There's people who think, oh, no, it is still happening. They're not going to start Pioneer League Baseball season in 2 weeks. It's not happening. So it's a bummer. There's no question about it. It flat out sucks. But there's nothing that we can do. Part of the support for the Jason Walker Show comes in part from Manscaped. Manscaped has the right tools to get the job done quickly, safely, and hygienically. You know, Father's Day is coming up. It's, 19 days away. And you probably need a gift for your hairy dad. Well, make your dad proud this year. Get him and yourself the Manscaped Perfect Package. I mean, you know what they say, right? Like father, like son. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming, but it's more than just that. They have forever changed the grooming game with the Perfect Package 3.0, number one recommended gift all year long. If you email the Jason Walker Show at jasonwalkersports@gmail.com, give me a great story of why you and your dad, especially your dad, what he means to you, we'll set you and your dad up both with a Perfect Package 3.0 kit. That comes with the Lawnmower 3.0, water-resistant cordless body trimmer, and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out the manscaping routine. And this is cool, too. Think about this for the ladies. I know you're worried about this, and some guys. It's paraben-free, dye-free, vegan, cruelty-free, all that. Okay? You got the Crop Preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, Crop Reviver refreshing spray, and the boxer briefs, so comfortable. Do yourself a favor, go to manscaped.com, enter the code WALKER20 and get 20% off and free shipping using the code WALKER20, WALKER20 at manscaped.com. You get 20% off and free shipping. It is dad bod season. It is time to get smooth. Take care of your dad and you. And don't forget to email me, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is brought to you by our good friends over at the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. You can start betting sports soon. There's some that you already can bet. Like, is there going to be a baseball season? I'm sure that you can check that out. Today is June the 2nd, 2020. It is National Rocky Road Day. Pretty darn good ice cream. It is also National Leave the Office Early Day, which makes no sense because all of us left the office. Well, I left the office in November. Most all of it, the rest of you left in March. On this date in 1883, the first night baseball game under the lights. This is the way it's written. First night baseball game under lights. It happened in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I would hope they had lights at night. 1901, Benjamin Adams was arrested in New York. Why? He's playing golf on a Sunday. 1903, Pittsburgh Pirates took a triple header from the Brooklyn Dodgers. 1933, FDR authorized the first swimming pool to be built inside the White House. 1935, Babe Ruth, at the age of 40, announced his retirement as a player. 1941, Lou Gehrig, the Hall of Famer, passed away of Lou Gehrig's disease. ALS, 1941 at the age of 37. 1942, Ted Williams of the Red Sox enlisted as a U.S. Navy pilot and became one of the best. Happy birthdays today. Johnny Weissmuller, who was a 5 Olympic gold medal winner, was born in Romania, died in 1984. He was born in 1904. He was also known as Tarzan. 1920, happy birthday, Tex Schramm, one of the gurus behind the electronics in NFL that then went to other sports with the Dallas Cowboys. Tex Schramm, a patriarch of amazingness, GM and president of the Cowboys, passed away in 2003, but he was born on this date in 1920. Happy birthday to the Beaver. That's right. The Beaver was born on this date in 1948, Jerry Mathers. The Walrus, Craig Stadler, born in 1953, won the Masters in 1982. Dennis Haysbert, American actor. He was born in San Mateo, California on this date in 1954. Who's Dennis Haysbert, you ask? Well, I might just be able to show you if this will play.
Ayúdame en este momento para que me des el poder para conquistar el cuerpo. Te daré mi devoción para siempre poderoso.
¿Qué pasa there, Pedro?
Bats. They are sick. I cannot hit curveball. Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball, bats are afraid. I asked Joe Boo to come. Take fear from bats. I offered him cigar and rum. He will come.
You know.
So Dennis Haysbert, Pedro Serrano, was born on this date in 1954. Also in 1955, Dana Carvey was born. Guess where? Missoula. Yeah, comedian. Yeah. Maybe the best thing to ever come out of Missoula. Now, let's see. What else happened on this day? Oh, Marconi in 1896 applied a patent to the radio. So there you go. All right, that is On This Day in History, brought to you by our friends over at the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Well, we learned there were more cancellations. And it sucks. Red Lodge, home of Champions Rodeo. Last Chance Stampede and Fair. Thanks to Kevin Tenney for joining us, the general manager of Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds. Also, East Helena Vice Principal and Activities Director Sean Mergel gave us an update on the Vigilantes. Tomorrow, Miss Rodeo Montana is going to sit in that chair right over there. Right there. Katie Lynn Krause will be here in studio. We'll see you tomorrow. Jason Walker Show. Talk to you at 4.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.